Hi students, today we are discussing 5th standard computer textbook come workbook book 5 question and answers. Declaration. Kindly type in YouTube search at the rate of Ishwarya Vijay Kumar and kindly subscribe this channel. 5th standard computer textbook come workbook book 5 chapter number 1 question and answers. Kindly type in YouTube search at the rate of Ishwarya Vijay Kumar for getting my YouTube channels improving spoken English for children's interview goers and college students. Chapter number 1 functions and parts of a computer. A computer is an electronic machine which is made up of device parts used for input, processing and storage and output. Functions of a computer. The main functions of a computer are input, processing and storage and output. Now let us understand what these terms mean. To understand the terms input, processing and output, let us take an example of a flour mill. In a flour mill, food grains are put into the big funnel at the top and they are slowly crushed into the grinder. The flour comes out of the opening at the bottom. In this entire process, food grains put into the funnels are input. The actions of grinding and food grains into flours is processing. The flour coming out of the opening is output. Input, processing, output. In computer terminology, input, processing and output can be defined as follows. Input. Data entered into a computer is called input. It could be numbers, letters, pictures or even sounds. Program. A set of logical step-by-step instructions given to a computer to perform a task or work on the data is called program. Processing. When a computer works on data input according to instructions program, it is called processing. Output. Information generated by processing data is called output. It is displayed by the monitors or printed by a printer. This means that the computer processes input data with the help of programs to generate information's output. Input, processing, input data plus program, processing according to program. Output information. Parts of a computer. A computer is made up of input device, processing unit and output device. In the examples of a flour mill, food grains input are put into the funnel. Hence the funnel is input device. The grinds process the food grains into flour. Hence the grinder is processing unit and the opening from where the flour's output comes out is output device. In a computer, the keyboard and mouse are used to enter the data and instructions into the computer. Hence, they are input device. The central processing unit (CPU), as the name suggests that it is processing unit. It processes data input according to instructions program and generates information's output. The CPU also stored processing data informations which you can retrieve get back whenever you want. Thus the CPU processes and stores data programs and informations. The monitor displays the output information generated by the CPU. If you want, you can print the output with the help of your printers. Hence the monitor and printers are output device. Input device, keyboard, mouse, processing unit, CPU, output device, monitor, printer. Input device. The keyboard and the mouse are the two input device. They are used to enter data or instructions into the computer. Keyboard. The keyboard is used to enter the data or give instructions to the computer. It is connected to the CPU box with the cable. The keyboard is a flat rectangular board with more than 100 keys on it. This key can be classified as follows: letters A to Z or capital A to capital Z, numbers key 0 to 9, etc. Keys of mathematical operations plus, minus, multiple and divide. Keys of functions marks, comma, semicolons, apostrophe, etc. Key of special symbols dollar, at, etc. Cursors keys, arrow keys, functions key F1 to F12 for some special commands. Special keys enter shift, alter, delete, etc. Mouse. The mouse is a palm-sized plastic device with 2 or 3 buttons on it. The left mouse button is the most frequently used button. The mouse is kept and moved over a mouse pad. On its undersides there is a spherical rubber ball which moves as you move the mouse over the mouse pad. The mouse is connected to CPU box with a cable. When you move the mouse, the movement of a ball on its underside is converted into data which is sent to the CPU through the cable. It is then the mouse shows where you are correctly worked on the screen or points to the locations on the screen. Hence the mouse is also known as pointing device. Output device. Monitor and printers are two output devices. Monitor displays the output while the printer prints the output on paper. Monitor. The monitor looks like a TV. It is connected to a CPU box with a cable. It has a power button to switch it on and off, and it also has control for brightness, contrast, etc. The monitor is also known as Visual Display Unit (VDU). The data entered in your computer is processed according to instructions, and the information that generator is displayed by the monitor. Also, when you enter data or give instructions to the computer, the monitor screens display whatever you are typing correctly. Printer. Any information generated by the computer is displayed by the monitor. This information or output can be printed on paper with the help of a printer. The printer is connected to the CPU box with a cable. These are three kinds of printers. Dot matrix printers. A dot matrix printer has a small set of needles like pins to print words or pictures. The words or pictures are printed into the form of dots. The most dot matrix printer print in black and white. A dot matrix printer is very noisy and slow. Inkjet printer. The head of an inkjet printer has many tiny holes on it. Tiny drops of ink is spread out of these holes to print words or pictures on paper. Inkjet printers can print in both black and white and color. An inkjet printer is quite cheap, easy to use, and quieter than a dot matrix printer. Laser printer. A laser printer prints words or pictures with the help of a laser beam. It is the best printers always available today for good quality printing. A laser printer prints the whole page at once. A laser printer is costlier than the ink printers, but it prints at high speed. Processing unit. The processing unit is located in the CPU central processing unit box. The vertical box that you see next to the monitors is called CPU box or the systems unit. The monitor, keyboard, mouse and the printers are connected to CPU box with cables. The CPU box is the same, so just consist of CPU which perform the two main functions of processing and storage. The processing is done by processing unit and memory unit takes care of storage. Processing unit. The processing unit contains the CPU, the other electronic components that help the CPU to process input data according to programs and generate information's output. The CPU controls the entire working of the computer, so it is called the brain of the computer. On receiving the data and instructions from the input device, the CPU decided what to do, how to do it and which units will do it, and accordingly it sends a message or signals to those units. After processing the data, the CPU generates information and displays it through the output unit. Memory unit. As the name suggests, the memory unit stores all the data, program and information on it. When you enter the data into the computer, it first goes to the memory unit. The CPU takes data from the memory unit and processes it to generate information. This information is again sent to storage into the memory unit. The CPU then instructs the memory unit is sent to the information to the output devices. Exercise: fill in the blanks by selecting the correct words from those given in brackets. The first question answers: when the computer works on input data according to instructions, it is called processing. The brief explanations and answer of these questions. Why processing? Because processing means the computer works on the input data to produce useful information. Why not computer? Why not program? Why not program? The program is only a set of instructions. It does not mean the actual working on the data. Question number 2. The CPU process input data according to a programs to generate information. Answer is CPU. Why CPU? The CPU, central processing unit, the process data and follows the program instructions. Why not monitor? The monitor only displays the output, it cannot process the data. Question number 3. The mouse is an input device. Brief explanations. Why mouse? The mouse is used to enter commands and control the pointers. Why not monitors? The monitor shows information. It is an output device, not an input device. Question number 4. Data entered into a computer is called. Answer is input. The brief explanations. Why input? Input is the data or instructions we entered into the computer. Why not output? Output is a result produced by the computer after processing. Question number 5. The CPU controls the entire working of the computer. The brief explanations. Why CPU? The CPU is called the brain of the computer because it controls all the operations. Why not monitor? The monitor only displays information, it does not control the computer. Question number 6. The memory unit stores all the data, program and informations. The brief explanation. Why memory? The memory unit stores data, program and informations. Why not processing? The processing means working on data. It does not store anything. Question number 7. The monitor is also known as Visual Display Unit, VDU. The brief explanations. Why monitor? Monitor displays text, pictures and videos, so it is called the Visual Display Unit, VDU. Why not mouse? A mouse is a pointing device, not a display device. Question number 8. The mouse is also known as pointing device. Brief explanations why pointing device. The mouse is used to point, click, drag and select objects on the screen. Why not cursor? The cursor is the arrow or pointers that appears on the screen. The mouse controls the cursors, but the mouse itself is not the cursor. A set of logical step-by-step instructions given to a computer to perform a task is called program. Why brief explanations? Why program? A program is the list of instructions that it tells the computers what to do. Why not input? The input is the data entered into the computers, not the instructions. Question number 10. The printed copy of the text or pictures is called the hard copy. Brief explanations. Why hard copy? Hard copy is the printed versions on paper. Why not soft copy? Yes, soft copy is viewed on a computer, phone or tablet screen and is not printed. Question number 11. The information generated by processing data is called output. Brief explanations why. Output is the result produced after the computer processing input data. Why not input? Input is the data entered into the computer before processing. The keyboard is an input device. Brief explanation. Why? The keyboard is used to enter data and instructions into the computers. Why not output? It does not display or produce the result. Question number 13. The monitor is an output device. The brief explanations. The monitor displays information produced by the computer. Why not input? You do not use it to enter data. Question number 14. A printer is an output device. Brief explanations. Why? A printer gives a computer's output on paper. Why not mouse? A mouse is used to give commands to the computer, so it is an input device. Question number 15. The keyboard has more than 100 keys on it. Brief explanations why. A standard keyboard has over 100 keys. Why not mouse? A mouse has button, not key. The mouse has 2 or 3 buttons on it. Brief explanations why. A mouse usually has 2 buttons and a scroll wheels or sometimes 3 buttons. Why not keyboard? A keyboard has many keys, not just 2 or 3 buttons. Question number 17. The monitor displays the output. Brief explanations. Why a monitor shows text, pictures and videos on the screen. Why not printers? A printers print the output on paper. It does not display it. A copy stored by the computer is called soft copy. Brief explanations why. A soft copy is stored electronically on the computer. Why not hard copy? A hard copy is a printed copy on paper. The laser printers prints at high speed. Brief explanations why. The laser printers are fast, quiet and produce high quality prints. Why not dot matrix? The dot matrix printers are slower and make more noise. Question number 20. A dot matrix printer is very noisy and slow. Brief explanations why. Dot matrix printers print by striking pins against and ink ribbons, making them slow and noisy. Why not laser? The laser printers are much faster and quieter. Question number 2. Name of the following three main functions of a computer. Input, processing, output. Input, accept data from the users. Process the data according to instructions. Output, display the processed information. Three type of printers: dot matrix printers, inkjet printers, laser printers. Two output device: monitors display information on the screen, printer prints information on paper. Question number 4. Two input device: keyboard and mouse. Keyboard is used to type data and instructions. Mouse used to point, click and select items. Question number 5. Two units in the CPU box. Processing unit CPU process data and controls all computer operations. Memory unit store data, instructions and information. Question number 3. Write the following of the informations. Monitor functions display the output information from the computer. Explanations: it is an output device that shows text, pictures, videos and the results of our work on the screen. Question number 2. Processing unit CPU functions process data and control all the operations of the computer. Explanations: it is called the brain of the computer because it follows instructions, performs calculations and manages all computer's activities. Question number 3. Keyboard functions enter data and instructions into the computer. Explanations: it is an input device used to type letters, numbers and symbols. Memory unit functions stores data, instructions and informations. Explanations: it keeps the data and program needed by the computer and saves information for future use. Printer functions print information on paper. Explanation: it is an output device that produces a hard copy of document, pictures and reports. Match the following. Input data entered, output information generated, processing working on data, program logical instructions, storage memory unit. Thanking you. If any doubt means put the comment box. And thanks once again.